So my name's Eddy. I'm a triathlete. Long distance Ironman is my sort of preferred event. I've been competing in sport for 20 years, in triathlon for almost that length of time. I'm director of communities at Mounts Bay, and like I said, in my pastime, I train for long distance triathlon.
So can you explain how, at the moment, how a normal training week would look? How does that get split down between the run, the swim and the cycle on a traditional week, and how that changes the closer you get, and when that sort of comes to a crescendo, and then as that tapers off and you get closer to race week, how does that traditional schedule look like?
In my sport, some people do it different ways, but we generally, the coach I work with, Joel, we've worked together for a long period of time. He knows me really well now, and actually sometimes I look at the schedule and when a rest day appears, I'm like, how did he know I needed that at that time, and the body was asking out for that rest day. But generally it works on a bit of a 4-week cycle with 3 weeks on and then a week easier, and not an easy week completely, but there's a bit less structure in there, and then I have a rest day, I don't know, maybe once every 4 weeks, 6 weeks, something like that, completely off. And then other times it might be recovery days. But the general week for me would be maybe 3 swims, 4 runs, 2-3 bikes is all I can do. Ideally you do 3 or 4 bikes if I had more time, and then a gym conditioning session each week as well in there. And that would look like, in terms of swimming, you'll have a threshold swim, an aerobic swim and a bit of speed work. Same for running, you'll have a distance run with some structure in there, some steadier runs, and then a run session in the week. And same on the bike, a VO2 max session, and then a longer ride on the weekends, maybe with some efforts in occasionally. And that's the general structure of the week.
You may not always answer this, but do you have a preferred discipline and a least favoured discipline?
I guess I come from a swimming background, so swimming's my I wouldn't necessarily it's my preferred discipline. I actually grew in the sport with my running, so when I first started the sport I was a bit better at swim and cycle, and then the run became my strength because it was something I had to work on, and then my running sort of picked back up. Even though I ran when I was younger, I sort of didn't run for a lot of years, so it just took time getting back there now. And a lot of the hard work I've done over the years now, actually my confidence in the race is I feel like I can outrun people, and I will have confidence on the run course that I will catch people if I need to, and where they are. So, and I'm lucky that I get off to a good start in the swim. I try and hold and limit any time losses on the bike as I can, and then the run, I just try and run with confidence and do what I need to do. But the bike is probably my weaker discipline, and it's something we've tried to work on, but that's just, I'm not a weak cyclist, but it's my weaker discipline of the 3.
The other question we had, which came from social media, have you seen over the last 10, 12 years since London, and then going through each Olympic year, with triathlon becoming more and more popular, obviously with the Brownlee brothers, and then different people are now the most recent British winner of the Olympic gold medal. Have you seen younger people that you teach and you see around within the communities that started to widen the horizons of triathlon?
I guess things go in cycles and sports go in cycles. So I guess Olympic years and things, certain sports do pick up around that time. And it's just having those opportunities for the kids locally to be able to do those things. So when the first Tri-Series came out in Cornwall a few years ago, it really picked up with the kids and the juniors that were doing it, and we saw a lot, and that sort of dipped away when that series went for a few years. I'm hoping it's sort of picking back up, and those opportunities are there for the younger people to take part. And it's those little events around here, whether they go surf lifesaving, or they do the prom swim, or they do the biathlon, all those little events that maybe in a few years' time they might come back to the sport.
So the next question is, what do you do for enjoyment outside of work and sport? This question has probably changed over the last 12 months, right?
Yeah. Previously it was still sport, but no, family time now for sure. As you alluded, we've got a little baby at home now. Getting time to spend with my wife on the little one is the best time of the week. I realised that in the summer when I went away on a training camp. It was the first time I'd spent that time away. And it wasn't that moment that I realised it would happen that I was like, right, I'm going on training camp, set everything up for it. And it was only that moment I went to walk out the door, before I went to the airport, that I was like, oh, this is different. Yeah, not felt that before. And you know, luckily nowadays you've got FaceTime and stuff. So when I was away in the French Alps, you know, I could FaceTime my little one and FaceTime home and sort of keep that connection. But you know, family's a massive part of that now. But yeah, doing stuff together, adventures, going off places. You know, very lucky in my sport that those adventures can happen in the locations that we go to, and some of the locations we get to go to, and like as you alluded to, Hawaii and Kona and stuff. You know, we're going out there this year as a family, so that looked very different to when I competed there a couple of years ago, which would be great.
What advice would you give to someone who's interested in getting into triathlon, and what's the best first steps?
Try and find a local club or some you know, local people that you can train with. Maybe set yourself a goal, see where you want to be, and that might be, you know, when you're first starting out, you might want to set realistic targets, not set anything too big, but kind of just go, well, actually, I'd like to compete in the sport, I'd like to complete my first triathlon, and then reassess where it is. You know, that might be where you want to stop, but it might be something that you want to continue and come part of your lifestyle, and cycling and running and being outdoors might be part of something that you enjoy or enjoy with family members and things. But very much finding a good group of people you can train with, and even if you haven't got a local triathlon club, you know, join the local running club or a local swimming masters group that you can do those things individually, because there's not many triathlon clubs down this way, but if you can do those things individually, then you can pick up the other bits along the way and enjoy it with your friends, and yeah, for sure.